How you guys doing? Welcome back. Today is 11/16. Yeah, 16. It's a Tuesday. Boy, it's a week. We're all pretty tired around these parts. Welcome back to the Swingcast. Let's just get right into it. If you are new, welcome. We're going to be talking about technical analysis, supports, resistances, trend lines, patterns, EMA lines, volume profile, RSI, stochastic, and the vortex indicator. All 9 of those things make up my technical analysis building blocks of my trading structure. If you want to know more about a structured trader and how to do it properly, the class is right here. 25 lessons are free, 25 are on my private services, which are in the description box down below as well. Go ahead and watch that if you want to learn more about that. A lot of folks out here want to sell you a course, sell you a strategy, sell you a system. Those things change when the market conditions change. What I try and teach and talk to you about, those things do not change. Structure does not change. Risk management never changes. Technical, mental, and fundamental analysis never change. Writing a trading plan, macro markets, consistency, all these types of things never change. Your cat touching the keyboard and touching the buttons also never changes. Now, does it, buddy? No, it doesn't. Oh, there he goes. With today's episode in particular, we're talking about technical analysis. Now, these are 8 plays I really enjoy. I think you may recognize at least 2 or 3 of these, maybe just 1 or 2 at most, but there'll be at least one that you've never seen before. That's the whole goal, is to show you new things, teach you new things, bring some things to your guys' sites and your whole entire trading plans, because again, everyone talks about the same exact 5 stocks. I like to talk about different things. With that being said, 8 stocks I want to look into this week. They look really good. Let's check it out together. Let's get it. Boys and girls, whoop-de-doo. So first is LABU, LABU. We've called LABD to pretty good success as well, and we've actually made a bunch of money off it, 25-30% moves. LABU is right where you want it to be. Now again, this is a 3 times leveraged ETF that talks mainly about the shares of biotechs. Now again, this can be lower, of course, towards 30 or 20, but right here, it's a very pivotal support spot. And again, below this volume profile line is probably the best. If you are new when it comes to our charting, the support's going to be a white line. Resistance is orange. Our resistance trend is orange and dotted. The supporting trend is going to be golden, not on here. And then these 2 white dotted lines right here is where 70% of volume happens. It's called volume profile. And then this right here is the POC. It's gravitational and the strongest support and resistance on the whole entire time frame. I don't have all the time in the world to talk about volume profile right now, but it's a great tool you can use to your advantage anytime you want to upgrade your trading and understand volume just a bit better. Right here is that lesson. Go check it out. You'll thank me later for sure. LABU, simple support play. Yes, it has lower highs across the board. It's coming down. Descending triangles do break down usually, but right here, it's a very low risk play. I called it right here at 51.15. But right here, risking 4 or 5%, a full move is about 22%. If you do get below the volume profile line, we're talking easy 5-1, 6-1 kind of odds here. LABU, very easy play. Do your due diligence on what they look at and what they're triple leveraging in, but it's a fantastic play. Let's check the indicators together. What's so cool about this channel is I actually don't scan with or use indicators when it comes to my technical analysis. Some folks like RSI under 30. They like EMA crossovers. They like bottoming out or topping out on the Bollinger Bands, whatever it may be. I don't do any of that. I just use technical analysis, and then indicators show me 4 things and 4 things only. Trend, momentum, volume, and volatility. That's it. Those 4 things help me create a trading plan and how to enter and exit stocks accordingly. What's a good value? What's a good crossover? Those types of things. If you are new to TA, this is going to be a great example of how you should and should not be using technical analysis in pair with indicators. Let's check it out together. Off the bat, we can see over the 50 is going to be a great goal. If you can get over the 50, you're good. The 200 is a very strong resistance and a very good support, as we can see. The 10 crosses are pretty good. What I mean is when you cross over the 10, you tend to run all the way up until that move is done and you cross under. Every single time on this time frame, 9 out of 10 times, you wait for a cross over the 10. The worst case is you're up 2 or 3% or you break even. It's very consistent. So waiting for a 10 cross here is not a horrible idea. You get that and it holds, it usually puts you in position to have at least a break-even trade. Not bad at all. RSI is at 36. Under 30 is best, but this is definitely fine right here. No true divergence at all. I mean, you have a very, very small one. I would not put any or much emphasis into this at all, but it is there. It's nice to see. And then, of course, bulls are low, bears are high. Bulls You want to buy when they're valued out just like this, or when they cross. See right here, they cross over, green goes over red, huge run up. Over here, green crosses over, nice little run up right there as well. But again, bulls are definitely at value. LABU, LABU is exactly where you want it to be at. It's a very easy support play. Of course, fundamentals is going to play a major role in this for sure, but it's very important for you to notice risk versus reward as our first building block, and we had that for sure. LABU, I definitely watched listed in this week. Next is OGEN, E-G-E-N. We called OGEN right over here. It made a big old spike. I don't anticipate one of these again for maybe a few months or at least a few weeks here. But every time we spike, we pull back to take off. We spike, we pull back to then take off. We spike, pull back to take off, and we're right back down here. Anytime we're below the volume profile line, we're good to go. So I think up here, we're probably 2 or 3% too high at the moment, but we do drop down to 57.50 or maybe even 56.50, anywhere in there. We're good to go in this area. Again, very easy support play. Sure, there's some levels of consistent lower highs, but they're very choppy with this price action. It's just a really nice small little penny stock here. When we get to 58.38 here, that's a great go signal, risking what, 4 or 5%. A bad move is about 26. Just hitting the POC itself right here is about 15% right about there. I got a good eye for this. 15% perfectly. That's a great runner. So again, this is, it has a chance to go down to 0. How low could a stock get? 0. It sometimes bottoms out towards 36 here. And again, it could always get lower. Just because it's very low now doesn't mean it can't get any lower. Again, I have a stop loss was kind of play for sure. OGEN's indicators. Let's check together. EMA lines are fairly worthless. Sure, you cross over the 200, you get your best day trade. See when you get stopped by the 200, break it, boom, running. And the 10 crosses are fine at best. I wouldn't use EMA lines for this. The only reason I use EMA lines is if it crosses the 200, that's the best day trading opportunities and the best run-ups in my opinion. The 50 cross is good too. 50 cross is fine, but again, both are so far away. I wouldn't worry about that right now. RSI is at 36, great value. Stochastic is low. 11's okay. There is a small amount of, there's a small bit of bullish divergence. It's just a tiny bit. You have some higher lows over here, lower lows, nothing too crazy. It's a fair value, and then bulls are low, bears are high. It's going to be kind of mixed up with the indicators just because it's a penny stock that gets pretty volatile, and that's why you don't lean too heavily on indicators for these kinds of plays. It's all about the technical analysis. OGEN is at value. I love what I see. I'd watch list it. Next is PAR. This may be a more confusing pick, and I'll show you why. You gotta zoom out for this play. I've been watching PAR's resistance trend line for the longest now. I was watching it here, watching it here, watching it here, and we finally, with earnings, broke over it. Now again, we came back down literally the next day, but this is just showing some form of weakness here, where we're starting to consolidate. It's starting to find bullish momentum a little bit lower. We may have a breakout here. PAR, you have two options. You can buy the breakout above 3 or 4%. You really break out. Buy into that. You can then ride it up. That's great. Or you can wait. 62 is a good support. And if all else fails, 58 is an even better support here. But again, higher lows, only 2 hits. Why is this important? Once, twice. Any one of you idiots, any one of me idiots can draw a trend line from point A to point B. That's not hard. But A, B, C, D, E, and so on is much more important. So this only has 2 hits. It's not a great trend line, but it is showing, at least for now, higher lows, which is a really good sign for bullish momentum. If we do come down, tap it, and show life again, that's 3. But again, horizontal wedge, it's starting to break out. I love to see that kind of play. Let's check the indicators. Oh my, oh wee. That 200 EMA line is holding beautifully. We just about to get a 50 cross. If we get green tomorrow, we have, the price up here. We get properly stacked. What's that mean? If we have a good run tomorrow, it's going to be price 10, 50, 200 EMA line. Those are the best run-ups. And every single chart, when you get properly stacked like this, you get your best runs. You get proper stack like this, you get your best runs. We get a good push tomorrow, that's fantastic. You can play that crossover pretty easily. RSI, stock, and Vortex are all even in the middle. It's consolidating sideways. That makes sense. Whoever gets volume, whoever gets power, whoever puts pressure can break out and make a big move. And if this does get sold off, it's going to come down probably to 57, 56. Very easy support play there as well. PAR, I would definitely watch this. I think this breakout's going to be huge. If the markets look good, if they get some power, it could be fantastic. I'd watch this into this week. I do love what I see. Next is print. Also an ETF for 3D printing. Now again, off the bat, it's obvious 35 is your best value. Now it only happens once every 4 times in almost a year. It's a very rarity it gets this low. But again, this has always made horizontal channels. This right here is a nice horizontal channel. Now again, it has different supports and resistances in here. We're just quickly going through this with you. You can see all these different levels. See how fast I did that? And it's pretty deadly accurate. If I were to go back, I'm just looking at this. You move this one up just a little bit. Right about there. And look at this. The absolute immense amount of 100% moves here is insane. And over here is much the same with what it's doing as well. So we're having great supports here, great resistances. Sure, you want to buy in lower, but again, there's plenty of strong bounces off of it hits the top here, boop, bounces again. Hits the top, boom, bounces back. Hits the top, boom, bounces back. And again, this is not, it's what, 5, 6, 7%. It's nothing to write home about. But if this does break out eventually, you want to buy in low, go high, and then ride this bad boy for months, if anything. Great spot right here. Great support. Very low risk. I love what I see. Let's check the indicators. 200 cross is fine. We cross the 200, we're good to go. The one thing I'd worry about here is that if the 50 does cross under the 200, some will consider that a death cross. I don't put that much emphasis into support or into indicators. But let's say we get some life and the 10 crosses over the 50. Well, that's going to be a golden cross. So we're right there. 10 run-ups are really good here. When you cross over the 10, it usually runs up pretty well, as we can see. So we look over here too. You cross over the 10, it held the whole time until it was time to sell out. So again, the 10 cross here works. It's too far away from me, but if it does start to consolidate here and the 10 comes down, a 10 EMA cross works just fine. RSI is low, stochastic is low, bulls are low, bears are high. Of course, again, 35 is the best entry. If this does tank tomorrow, thank the stock gods, we're getting a better price for it. But PRNT here makes a whole lot of sense. 3D printing is only going to get bigger. It makes a lot of sense to me. I love what I see. I'd watch this into this week. Next is PRTS parts, carparts.com. Cars always need parts. 1 year. This trend's not even on it. What's that mean? On the 10-year, over a year now, this trend's been absolutely rock solid. I love what I see. We can also see some form of lower highs coming in here. Now again, you can come over here and see it's probably a little bit higher up. It's just on this time frame, it looked a little bit goofy. So I want to just show that there is a possible horizontal wedge forming. Of course, we have consistent lower highs here. Look at this. Nice looking wedge down, doesn't it? Yeah, look at that. One break. Okay, but again, just eyeballing it, that's a very consistent downward trend line. It matches the same exact one here almost for a downward channel. So we do have a lot of looking downward motion here. But again, we buy into value. We want to sell high. Anywhere below this volume profile line is a great support. Anywhere in this trend line is a great value. So again, if we do get 2 or 3% off, it's a very easy risk versus reward play. If it breaks out, you have probably one of the best winners of the whole entire year. Can run up 10, 15, 20, 30% any given time. I love what I see. Let's check the indicators together. 200 crossover will be a necessity for life. As we can see, it hits here. Can't break above it. Once you break that, we're good to go. 10 crosses are pretty good. For sure, waiting for 10 cross here is fine, it's only 2%, and then the 50 is kind of in the middle. But 10 cross is great. Once you cross the 200, that's confirmation you made the right decision. RSI, it's fair. We're going sideways, right? That's consolidation. It's moved what? You go over here. It's moved 2% in 32 days. We're consolidating. That's fine. Stochastic is low. Love that. Bulls are low. Bears are high. PRTS, car parts, I think you want to see in the stock. Of course, you would like to see some more bullish momentum with the 200 being a support. Maybe you want to see it a bit lower, but into this week, yeah, this makes a whole lot of sense. I love what I see. I definitely watch list it. Next is SVC. I'm good at reading. SVC, Service Properties Trust. And again, this is a good looking stock. Look at these earnings. 1 penny, 1 penny, 1 penny. Look at 27 cents, 16. You're getting a pretty solid earnings here. Good little dividend. What a support spot. Look at this. Absolutely rock solid. And again, historically, it just goes sideways, right? And then you had yourself because of COVID, and now we're coming back into a nice little support spot. This gap was here. Old support here. Nice little trend line. Again, I don't think it's the strongest thing of all time, but I want to throw it in there. Look at the support. It's rock solid. I love it. This is maybe what? A 2-3%? Yeah, you're risking at most here 4%. A bad move is 8, so it's 2-1. A full move is already closer to a 4-1 play here. And with a tighter stop loss, it's just better. Easy support play. I don't put much emphasis into the trend line here, but again, the support line is super strong. I love what I see. Very easy play. Let's check the indicators together. 10 crosses are pure. The 50 cross is even better. But again, you want to wait for a 10 cross here? That's fine. 1.5%. I'll give that up for some form of confirmation to then use that 10 as a stop loss area, and at least and at worst break even. A 200 cross is best. Obviously, going to be a very strong resistance. And if we do get over that, that's just, you know, further reinforcement you made the right decision off buying value down here, in my opinion. 39, negative 40, super low, super high. SVC is a great value purchase. Everything points to value. I wouldn't put too much emphasis into the trend line. I wouldn't put too much emphasis into a crossover. It's a value play. I like what I see. SVC, I definitely watch this. I love what I'm looking at. Next is YPF. We can see earnings, overreaction. I don't like catching falling knives. It's only been 6 days. It's down 15%. This stock is not worth 15% less the last 16 days. That makes no sense. But we can see it has been dipping ever since. And again, it started a dividend paying out pretty good here. And now it's getting a bit lower. So again, if it does dip farther, I'm not going to be shocked. But let's go back out one more time. This is a beautiful ascending triangle / horizontal triangle right here, right? Great higher lows, great support spot in the middle, some lower highs here. It's starting to really get condensed here. It's a very low risk play. I mean, again, it's breaking the support after hours. That's fine. Our next support spot would probably be somewhere towards here, right about there, 387. I'm sure in volume profile, we can see it's probably even closer to 379. Maybe even 399, but right here I think it's a fine spot for support. It's coming down to us. I wouldn't rush in, but anywhere below its volume profile line once again is a great purchase off value. And again, you're risking 2 or 3%. A full move here just to hit this resistance area is 18%. Great risk reward. I love what I see. Let's check the indicators together. 10 crosses are beautiful, especially for at least breaking even. So waiting for that, it does not make sense here at least. That's what, 8% away? Oh my goodness, 6.5. I was close. So again, I wouldn't wait for that, but again, if we do start to consolidate down here, that's fine to wait for that. RSI is almost at 30. You love to see that. Stochastic negative 50. Bulls are super low. Bears are super high. It's great for a value purchase. The only issue being that we don't have any life yet, and we do not catch flying knives on this channel. I would wait. Again, this is a watch list show. I would definitely watch list it into this week, and if it looks like it's showing some life or starting to find some support, that's when you can pull the trigger. Scaling it makes sense down here. I love what I see with YPF. I would definitely watch list it. Would I, Gremlin? Yes, I would. Last and not least is Zim. What a great show. I missed that show. Showing life already, looking pretty good here. Great trend up. Once, twice, 3 times solid, maybe 4 times. And again, it consolidates before it moves. It consolidates before it moves. Again, we are now consolidating sideways. Let's zoom out here. What a sell-off. It sold off right into this area, and now it's making a nice trek back up. This trend line holding beautifully, but again, it used to hang up closer, and now it's getting more volume on a great discount down here. The volume profile is a great support, so we do dip. That's a great support spot. Great trend up. It's pushing volume up here. It's going to get volatile, but overall, a great-looking stock to me. Let's check the indicators. I only have one hand now because my cat has my other one. The 200 crossover is going to be your best move, especially a 10 at least is fine. The 10 crosses are pretty good. So you can cross that 10, nice run up. You cross the 10 here, nice run up the whole entire way. Thank you for that. The 10 cross here, nice run up, especially the 52. So you get the 10 and 50 and 200 tomorrow. You get a nice crossover. We're good to go. The issue is earnings. I'd probably wait for earnings, at least run its course, or at least the day of or the night of, and see what it's going to do. I mean, there's more room to drop because, again, a great support play is 33. 34 is a great support play down here. So, I mean, it has room to drop and it has room to run up. But, again, I'd probably wait for earnings to run its course. You cross that 10, 50, 200, we should be good to go. RSI is 46, Stochastic is 6, Bulls and Bears are tied here. We can see it's definitely consolidating sideways into earnings. We have no idea which way it's going to go. Sorry, my cat's just checking how cute he is. We have no idea which is going to go here. But again, for a watch list item, ZIM, if earnings look good, is a very easy play in my opinion. There you guys have it. Hope you guys have a good rest of your guys' week. Yes, they will. We'll see you guys tomorrow for one more watch list show, and then we'll have one on Thursday, and hopefully an episode on Saturday. Depending on how busy I am, it is what it is. Otherwise, have a good rest of your guys' week. We'll see you guys then. Yes, we will. We'll see you guys then. I appreciate y'all. Thanks.